Hey, good afternoon, Facebook. It's Shanita again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today is January the 10th, and this is my second class for the month for Easy Peasy DIYs. So we'll just give a few moments for people to jump on. It is very cold, so I hope you guys are staying warm. We might get some snow this weekend, so I saw a crazy Facebook post this morning that said we could get 0 to 83 inches. People just making jokes how the weatherman never gets it right. So you can go to the store, stock up. You can be snowed in for the apocalypse, or you could just have a beautiful warm weather weekend. So we don't know which it'll be. But if we do get snow, I hope you are prepared. So not going to hold you long today. Just kind of wanted to jump on again in the continuation of continuing to make sure that we are giving you guys tons of information on how to live a more chemical-free life in 2019. I think that is the mantra. You see, we are inundating you with information and classes to ensure that you have all of the resources that you need. So whether you have purchased a premium starter kit of any kind, or whether you have just always been a DIY naturalista, these tips will probably be really, really easy and quick. And you'll find that we're just using like regular household items, is, nothing too chemically lab looking at all. So one of my first DIYs that I did was making a facial scrub, and I will come back and link the recipes that I found. But Pinterest, for those that are on that other social kind of, I don't even know how you describe Pinterest. It's just like concentrated Google on steroids maybe, but Pinterest is a great way to kind of find some DIYs. And so because I am an avid Young Living user and distributor, I typically will type in the search bar YLEO facial scrub, YLEO carpet cleaner, because sometimes people will put other oil companies, and I'm looking for the one that I vouch for, that has that seed to seal, the one that, I'm a firm believer of. So the LYEO, of course, stands for Young Living Essential Oil. So anytime I'm doing a search, I usually preface it with that to make sure that I'm getting exactly what I'm looking for. But the facial scrub was very simple. I used 1 cup of brown sugar, which is what I preferred. You can use regular white sugar. The coarser the sugar, the better, because it'll give you a nice, look, my skin is glowing. It's really not, it's the sun coming in. But it did help with a little bit of glow. But the coarser the sugar, the better for it being able to exfoliate. So it was 1 cup of brown sugar. There was a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. Now, when I first started out, I was not aware of what fractionated coconut oil is, and pretty much that coconut oil you'll find in a pump jar, and it does not solidify. It remains in its liquid state. So if you're like me, didn't really know what fractionated coconut oil was, I just kind of scooped out enough, popped it in the microwave just to kind of get it to melt, use that. However, I've become a little smarter, but you can use olive oil, you can use almond oil, you can use grapeseed oil, just whatever carrier oil you would like. And then you can do 10 to 15 drops of your favorite essential oil, or you can kind of do a half and half of if you have a favorite kind of blend. So the one that I did was orange. And I'll tell you why. I was actually trying to order the Orange Blossom facial scrub mask moisturizer, but it was out of stock. I did not get to it in time. So for those of you who are already members, and the trick is to get your order in at the beginning of the month before things sell out and run out. So I wanted the Orange Blossom, couldn't get it, but guess what? I have orange oil. So I went ahead and put 10 drops into my facial scrub, and I had some popsicle sticks and just kind of stirred it around and just kept it in my bathroom and used it to wash my face. And I really, again, I know this sun is really helping me out here with aesthetics, but it really did make my skin glow, and I didn't have to put anything else on it afterwards. And when I finished, I was just using coconut oil as my moisturizer. I know we have a whole 3-step system in the facial care line with Young Living. But if you're like me, you want to experiment a little bit more, you want to do some more DIYs, this is an easy step. So that's one. The second most easiest thing I made was my laundry scent boost. And so let's see if I can get the sun to cooperate. And so in this jar, I have a really big mason jar. Not sure what size it is, but it's probably the biggest one where you kind of like can your pickles and things in. So I use a mason jar. I have tons of these at home. If you are new to DIY-ing type stuff, you definitely want to go ahead and get just different size mason jars. They're really going to help out with storage. And I get these little labels from the Dollar Tree, and I just kind of stick them on. I mean, some people are a little more fancy. They may type them up, but for home use, this is fine. But in my laundry scent boost, I love to smell fresh linen. But of course, we know a lot of the perfume that are in some of the, big name laundry detergents, the scent boosters, and the dryer sheets. Those chemicals that make the fragrance are very harmful. And so when I made the switch to the Thieves laundry detergent and things that are less abrasive and less non-chemically, I wasn't getting that, fresh linen smell that I was used to. So I kind of did some research, got back on good old Pinterest, and I found a very easy recipe. So this was 1.5 cups of Epsom salt. This is something else I also keep in the house, just bags and bags of Epsom salt. So whenever I see it on sale, maybe 2 for $4 or something, I'll pick up a few bags because this is a common household product that you can use for a lot of stuff. So it's 1.5 cups of Epsom salt and 1/2 cup of baking soda. And so I get this big boy from BJ's. And so you can probably find it from Costco as well. This is a 13.5-pound bag, and I'm probably just about ready to get another one. So that was all that was in there, and then 20 to 30 drops of your favorite essential oil. Now, because I had tons of citrus fresh, this is what I put in here. I put 2 tablespoons per load in my laundry. If it's like really, really smelly stuff like from basketball practice or things like that for my son, I might put in 3 tablespoons. And I just keep a little tablespoon measure in there that way, because before, I was just kind of shaking it and eyeballing and it went too fast, so then I had to make this. So the recipe that I did mention, and again, I will come back and link them in the comment section, I actually doubled the recipe to make this jar full. So what I gave you is probably only going to give you about half. So if you wanted to kind of get it a little closer to the top, you can use that. All right. So my next favorite item here, I see we have a comment. So scent booster plus detergent, absolutely. So I still use my regular whatever soap that I'm using. I use whatever I have on hand. If I have my Thieves, sometimes that runs out. I have not ventured into making my own laundry detergent yet, but stay tuned. That may be part 2 of this class. So yes, I will add my laundry detergent plus add in 2 to 3 tablespoons of a scent booster. So great question. Thank you, Akima. The next item I made for my daughter and I was a facial toner, these little cleansing pads. So I have a almost teenager, y'all. She will be 13 in 2 weeks. And so, we have just the prone acne and just things like that going on. And so sometimes we know when we eat things, it causes breakouts. And so I wanted to make her something very safe. And with getting her started on a facial care regimen that did not have a bunch of, heavy laden chemicals in it, destroying her skin, hormone disruptors, endocrine disruptors, didn't want any of those things. So went on good old Pinterest again. So my facial toner was very, very easy to make. We actually made a batch together. She made a batch and I made a batch. So another mason jar. So this is the smaller size one. And I really like the plastic lids. I do have a metal lid or aluminum lid on the other ones, but you guys know if you've done any kind of juicing, those rings kind of can get rusted a little bit, and so you don't want that contaminating your product. So I prefer these little plastic caps. You can get these from any box discount store. So in my glass here, so what you need to do is get a measuring cup, because you don't want to pour everything into your facial toner cup. You want to pour it into a glass measuring cup. So your ingredients were the mason jar. You want to get some cotton rounds. And you see, got these from Dollar General. You also want to have some water. You want to have some witch hazel. I also incorporated a little bit of vitamin E oil just to make sure my skin was still getting moisturized and nourished. And then again, 20 to 30 drops of your favorite oil. And so what you're going to do is put your witch hazel, which is 1/2 cup. into the measuring cup. You're also going to put a tablespoon of the vitamin E oil into the measuring cup. You're also going to put water into the measuring cup and just kind of stir it around, stir it around. And once kind of all that becomes incorporated, you want to pick whatever essential oils you want to use. Now, you definitely want to either have an app or back on Pinterest to find. If you have more oily skin, there are certain oils you may want to look at using. If you have more dry skin, again, so we tend to have a little more drier skin, obviously within the winter time. So for those that know me, they know that I buy this big old $30 tub of shea butter for the winter, and it lasts literally one whole year. But for our little concoction, my daughter and I, we use the same. So we did about 10 drops of tea tree oil. So again, definitely always look up what these oils are good for. Lavender, and then we also used cypress. And so we just kind of did 10, 10, and 10. But you could have done 20 of lavender. You could have done lavender plus a tablespoon of vanilla, or, you know, whatever kind of combination you wanted. And so again, I just put a little label on the top, and to help me remember, I kind of wrote in what was actually in there. So again, not to worry, I will link those comments into the box later. So that's the facial cleansing pads. Easy peasy. This stuff takes less than 5 minutes to make. And you know you're getting good, clean, chemical-free products nourishing your skin. Remember, our skin is our biggest organ. So anything that we're putting on our skin is actually getting into our body. So we definitely want to make sure the things that we're putting on our skin, the things that we're putting in our body is not filled with chemicals. There's so many issues that we have medically because of the overload of toxins that are in our body. So the next easy peasy DIY I made was some room spray. And so before getting into that kind of the chemical-free world, I was just big on scents and plug-ins and air fresheners and candles. You know, I never wanted my house to just smell dull. We have a pet. I have 3 children. So there's always stuff going on. And so again, when we made this switch into chemical-free, I was like, okay, I know it's good and it's not chemicals, but there's no after smells. Like, I have been like programmed to like crave the scent of fragrance. So I said, okay, I'm going to find another way. So back onto trusty DIY for my Pinterest, and I looked up some recipes for room spray. So these little amber bottles I received from a kind of Whole Food type store. It's called Wegmans here in this area, but you can go to Whole Foods, or I'm sure Mom's. But this is a 2-ounce jar. And so when I first did this, I was not very measure savvy. And so I just kind of would eyeball everything. And I said, okay, I will figure this out. And so I poured water in here, and I poured some witch hazel. And then I said, okay, then I don't have enough space for the essential oils. So I had to dump that out. And so again, just like my Epsom salt, when I'm in the store, I definitely will pick up several bottles of witch hazel as well. Now this witch hazel does have, you see in the front, it has 14% alcohol in there. Now, if you are sensitive to alcohol on your skin, you definitely want to get the witch hazel that has that's alcohol free, and maybe the one that has rose water in it. I've seen those in kind of, again, Whole Foods, you know, organic type grocery stores. So that's another point to mention as well. But when got these amber bottles, and I said, okay, let me figure out. So I did some research, and I found that when you are using essential oils and water, right, we've always heard that term. It's not really a term. It's a chemical fact that oil and water don't mix well. So I didn't realize in my first batch of these, I should have been putting a little bit of sea salt. So a sea salt is what is used as a dispersant. So it helps the oil molecules actually filter into the water kind of evenly. You can't really see it in this one, I don't believe. Oh, maybe you can if that light would stop shining. The oil is kind of separated. So you just kind of have to give everything a shake. And that's something I had to get used to. Anything that I'm doing, it's natural. Things separate because they're not, chemicals just don't keep it, all immersed. So I have to kind of shake it up. But I had these little labels from some other homeschool things that I was doing. And it looks so professional. And I put like a little cute little ribbon around here. And this here is wintergreen and grapefruit, and peppermint. So actually, when you spray this, I keep these in my bathroom. When you spray this, it actually smells a little more like toothpaste. I didn't really follow a recipe as far as how many. So you live and you learn. That's the beauty of DIY, right? It's not chemical, so it's not harmful. But when I do spray it and someone kind of comes in or we have a guest, they're like, smells like the dentist's office in here. Well, hey, at least it's covering up the odors I'm attending for it to cover up. So these are really nice. You can also get these in bigger sizes. And so again, because this is a 2-ounce bottle, I did just below an ounce for water, just below an ounce for the witch hazel. I did a half a teaspoon of sea salt, and I just kind of poured oil, the 3 oils that I mentioned, which was wintergreen, peppermint, and grapefruit, until it smelled like how I liked it. So that was another easy peasy DIY. I think that's all I have to really show for today. I just wanted to just show you how easy this stuff is to make. And I know, as wives, as moms, as, working women, sometimes we don't always have the time to filter all of the necessary ingredients, but just, hey, one weekend, you may just say, hey, I want to give these a try. I've made bath bombs with my daughter, and it was really nice. It's fun. It's messy, so that's not one that I make all the time, but she really did enjoy. And I think Akima was with us too when we made the bath bombs. But my daughter really enjoyed the facial cleansing cloths. She used them every day, twice a day, and I saw it cleared up a lot of the blemishes. She has like some darkness going on here, like discoloration kind of evened out her skin tone. So there is another point of reference when you are using any citrus essential oil. Most of them are photosensitive, so you want to do your research. Again, download an oil guide app, or definitely check out the Young Living website to find out which ones. But just as a great rule of thumb, any citrus oils that you are applying to your skin, you should not go out into direct sunlight. Now, if you're rubbing citrus oils like under your skin, it's going to be covered by clothing, you should be okay. So we are definitely going to try to schedule some make and take classes. We do not have any, at least I don't recall if we have any on the books, but if you listening out there in Facebook land are interested in hosting a class similar to this in your home, we would charge a nominal fee just to kind of cover the cost of supplies. We'd bring everything to you, to your home. You invite a few friends, and everyone walks away with things that they make that are chemical free for themselves. So please drop me a comment below if you are interested in doing a DIY class. And, if you are kind of local, the DMV, maybe PA, and we have enough time to plan out, we could even, consider venturing out. If you're on the Eastern Shore, let us know. We might try to get those into a schedule. But these classes are really fun. It really brings together like-mindedness. It's a really great, activity, really building as sisters. It's really, really nice to just kind of get together with people who are on the same wavelength and thinking about health and the health of their families, just like you and I. So I will come back, guys, and link the comments into this class. I hope you enjoyed a few of these. I definitely have tons more, but I wanted to keep it narrow. I know I'm doing my classes in the middle of the day when some of you guys may be at work, and I'm trying to keep it to the lunch hour, just a few minutes. But definitely we want to continue promoting our chemical-free beauty. We don't have to put all this poison on our skin, all the toxic makeup and perfumes. We don't have to do that. We can make our own. We can even have a make and take perfume class, how to make perfume. I've been watching some videos on that too. So please, guys, if you are interested in doing any type of these classes, an Essential Oil 101 class, how to make your own roller blends for essential oils to protect immunity and help your child calm down. You want to do these make and take classes. You want to make a perfume class. You want to make a household cleaning kit class. Let us know. We will come do it with you. So just drop us a comment. You guys stay warm, stay safe, and we will see you at the next class. You guys enjoy your day. Bye.